On the 15th of April in 2013, two men terrorized the city of Boston during the Boston Marathon. For 90 minutes, cell phone communication became flooded, causing communication failures. Communication is critical to public safety, especially in large emergencies such as the Boston Marathon bombing. The current status of public safety communication lacks flexibility and is not always reliable in disconnected, interrupted, or remote communication environments. We're working with MIT Lincoln Labs, Penn State, and the Department of Homeland Security to solve communication failures during large-scale emergencies. Our work focuses on an app interface so that users can more efficiently communicate with each other. The app that we're working with was originally designed with first responders in mind, and we wanted to look into how that can be applied to other markets like the Red Cross or in the oil industry.
And what we found is that a lot of these first aid organizations, non-government relief organizations such as the American Red Cross and Doctors Without Borders, they need something like this too. So our design process kind of started a little bit differently than some of the other teams, right? So we started off with an app, and what we were tasked to do was see how is this app going to change, how's it going to reform in these alternative markets. And so we had this baseline, and we just kind of needed to work and expand off of that and see how we could pivot on that app to make it really fit into these markets the way we needed it to.
We conducted interviews and surveys with a variety of different people, both first responders as well as people in oil, Red Cross, environmental protection agencies, and we used those results to make design recommendations.
So I think definitely the most fascinating insight that we've, as a team, learned through these interviews has just been what these people are forced to do when all of their communication systems have failed. For example, we were talking with a woman from Shawnee, Oklahoma, who, due to the landscape and due to the frequent tornadoes and weather, their radio systems fail constantly. And so what they are forced to do is set up a perimeter and just hope that they catch all of their team members going in and out of that perimeter and are able to relay to them important messages. I think that's just been absolutely shocking, is just how low tech these teams and these organizations have to get to do anything effective.
What we first did was we created a low fidelity prototype just to see if the flow of how we wanted our app to work was good and intuitive. We also created a medium fidelity prototype to conduct usability studies in the field. We tested with a local fire company as well as with disaster relief members from the American Red Cross.
So during these usability studies, we were able to get some really quantitative data and some great qualitative data. So we looked at how many clicks it took them to complete a certain task. We looked at what the time was, we looked at the error rate, but then we also looked at what was their satisfaction throughout using this app, and what was, how did they perceive the importance of each of the features, and what would they suggest to be included later on. And so all of that data from the usability studies really helped us to create these final design recommendations that we came up with. And so we kind of synthesized all of this information and data from the interviews and the usability data, boiled it down into these design recommendations that we feel will really create a successful, highly implementable solution for communication needs during large-scale emergency disasters.